Hello and welcome to Teacher Inspiration Station. In today's video, I am doing a classroom supplies haul. Now last school year, I forgot to put in an order for my new class. So I ended up having to buy supplies for my new students in the summertime. And yes, I can get reimbursed, but I didn't submit my receipt, so I didn't actually end up getting my money back. But it's a pain, like, why go through all that when I could just order through our school, our board? And so I forgot to do that, but I was like, not this year. I am not forgetting this year. So I put an order in, but guess what? There are a bunch of things I forgot to get. I forgot to get glue sticks. I forgot to get scissors because we've had those scissors for years and they're starting to rust and they're dull. So we need new scissors. I forgot to get notebooks. There's just a few more items I need to get, so I'm gonna do a part 2 after I go shopping at the dollar store or wherever. But yeah, oh well. But I just thought it would be a good idea to share with you what I did end up purchasing, and hopefully this will help get you started in your classroom, especially if you have a new classroom. I just hope you find this useful and entertaining. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I picked up were these caddies. Now I do have a confession to make. I actually bought these a couple of years ago and I never actually used them. So I usually use those little like baskets for markers or crayons, and then another little basket for pencils and erasers, and keep those in the middle of our tables, the group tables. So I bought these a couple years ago, never used them, but I thought, you know what, let me use them next school year. As you can see, it literally has dust on it. Collecting dust in my closet there. So my plans are, I'm going to put pencils here, erasers here, and then crayons in this compartment there, and then just leave these in the middle of their groups. We'll see how that works. Yeah, I've never tried the caddies before, so grabbed these at Walmart a couple years ago. Don't remember how much they were now, but got those. Next item I ordered were these crayons. So I don't know if you guys experience the same problem that I've had in my classes, but kids tend to fight over markers. That's our group's green, that's our group's purple. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just markers, there's drama. But there's not as much drama with the crayons. Like, this year is the first year where I've actually used crayons in the groups instead of markers, and it's been a lot easier to deal with. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start doing that. The only issue with crayons is they break. And when they break, you get little bits of pieces and then they end up everywhere when they're working. It just, I don't like that. But if you replenish often, then you don't really have that issue. Now, in the summertime, there are a lot of sales. Like, you could get these for so cheap in the summer. 25 cents a box, 50 cents a box. So stock up on that. So I'm gonna do that this year. So I'm just gonna take these crayons and put them in here. I'm just gonna open 2 packs and put them in here. 3 may fit, but I just go with 2. And yeah, no drama-free crayons. Next I picked up were some markers. So it's not like I'm anti-markers. It's just that markers are only busted out during special projects. I'll take the markers and I'll put them out, and then I'll collect them and put them away. That went well this year, except I started to kind of slack off and I kind of just had the markers easily accessible, so the kids would use them often, and then I would start to see issues with the markers creeping up. So this year I'm gonna be very diligent about that and make sure that the markers get put away. I don't know, I just always have issue with the markers, and I'm over it. So I grabbed just the original ones here, the 10 that have the gray and pink, which I do like this one. And then I have these ones which are multicultural colors, and they tend to do a lot of all about me and friendships and things like that, where they have to draw themselves or draw their friends. So it's good to have the multicultural ones. I wanted to get multicultural crayons, I completely forgot to do that, so whatever, it's fine. I'll get some. So yeah, markers. Speaking of markers, I picked up dry erase markers. I picked up a couple packages of this, And these, I don't have chalkboards, I have a whiteboard on an easel, so these are great for lessons. I also use these for my students because they all have like those little mini whiteboards, which is, I don't know if you guys use whiteboards in your classroom, but they are awesome. They are great. I use it for a bunch of different things. They're great for fillers. If I have some extra time, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes I need to spend, everyone grabs a dry erase board and I'll say, you know, anything really. I can say, okay, I want you to draw me a set of circles that one more than 8. Or I can say directions. I can say I would want you to draw a tree to the right side of the board, draw a sun above the tree, or whatever. Literally anything. Like write the sight word when I went to the park I saw a bird, and they have to write when. And there's so many things you can do with the whiteboard, so always have dry erase markers on hand because we use them up very quickly. Next, I got these index cards. Now these index cards are lined on one side and the other side is blank, but it doesn't matter. This is just what they have. This is just what they have available. I use these for the sight word of the day. So, oh, my eye's itchy. Ooh. So every day when the kids come in, there's a tricky snap word of the day. And what I do is I write the snap word on the card with a yellow marker and they have to trace it. So in the past, I wrote the sight word on the back and they had to write the sight word on the front. But what I noticed happening is kids would trace it. They can see it through the card and they would write it backwards. And then I had it where kids copied it off of the board. But then what ended up happening is some kids wrote it incorrectly. And the whole purpose of it is for it to be like flashcards. So they write the word of the day and then they take it home and they study it. They study the spelling and reading it. So I end up just writing it with like a yellow marker and they just trace over it with pencil. So that's like a part of their morning jobs. One thing you have to be careful though is, in the beginning it works out great, but after a while kids start to do things like draw on the back, or they start to do extra things that you didn't ask them to do. So you gotta nip that in the bud. You gotta say, you know what, nope, we're not doing that. And you have to also not just use your words to tell them to do it, but you actually have to make them practice it maybe during recess or something, just to like really nip it in the bud, because they will just start drawing on it and then it just kind of starts to get out of control, because every day you have to be like, don't drawing, no drawing, no drawing. Like just, yeah, nip it by just having them practice during recess about how to do it properly, try again, whatever. So, but it does work well. So we go through a ton of these. So I grabbed a few packages of those. Of course, every classroom needs a package of Band-Aids. So I picked this up. I'm not brand loyal. Just grabbed some Band-Aids. I recently discovered that Band-Aids are supposed to be the color of your skin. Like, I didn't realize that. I just thought that that was just the color of Band-Aids, but they created it so that it blends with skin color, but obviously this is not my skin color. But I didn't realize that. I did not know that. So anyway, what I do, a little trick, is I take the Band-Aid and I cut the sides off. And that if the child has a cut on their finger, I use that and I wrap it around, because sometimes I found like the Band-Aid is too long. So cutting it really helps cover the cut and not get the sticky parts on the cut. So just a little tip, a little trick of what I do with Band-Aids. So yeah, this is a package of 100 of them. This will last through the month of September. Just kidding. Next thing I picked up were these badge holders with inserts. I have never used these before. These are for the first few days of school. As I get name tag, kids come in, they find their name tag. What I usually do is I usually have those stickers that say my name is, but then I have to make them every day. So I figured these are good for, I can just reuse them every day. And it's great to label your kids. It's great to give kids name tags, because not only for classroom management, but you also want to know their names, right? So I use this, and sometimes I take a picture of them and then I study their names that night so I know it the next day. And where I am, it's hard because not only am I studying the name for which face, but also some of those names are unique and I've never heard of them before. So I'm learning the name and the pronunciation of the name. Gotta remember that. I hate mispronouncing people's names, so I really want to make sure that I know that, and this is very helpful to me. These, I actually never tried these before, but it's helpful to have name tags, and I hope these work well. You just kind of clip them on. Yeah, so we'll see. I got 3 packages of these. Next, I picked up a package of erasers. I don't know about you, but in my classroom, I feel like kids eat the erasers. I do not know what happens to the erasers. I'll replenish, I'll have a nice big stock of erasers, and then in like 2 weeks, we only have like 2 left in the classroom. I'm just like, where are these erasers going? Like, you know, whenever you do laundry and you put socks in the dryer and then it's like, ooh, where do the socks go? Ooh. Where do erasers go when you put them in the hands of children? You know, like, where do they go? Anyway, I grabbed some, and what I do is I cut them in half. So I think everyone does that, really. But you just cut them in half, and then you have more for kids to use. And yeah, we'll see what happens this year with them. I don't know, but they tend to eat them. I don't know what they do. Next thing I grabbed were these primary printer pencils. I don't know, I just like to use these. They can use the regular pencils, it's fine, but these are easier to write with. And there's also the number 1s, but those are wider. So I just go with these ones so that you see the width of them. Can you see? Oh goodness, how do I do this? Anyways, it's hard, it's not really focusing, but this is what I use. I have those pencil sharpeners that have multiple holes, like different sizes. So the electric sharpener, so I just use these, put it through, and they're fine. Yeah, and they last well. They don't break, which is what I like. Like, the points don't break, they just get dull. So I like these. Sorry if my camera angles are now different, but the camera just stopped. I need to figure out how to change that, because that happens a lot where the camera just shuts off after a few minutes. I think after 20 minutes it just shuts off. But anyway, gotta change that in settings. Don't know how to do that. But anyways, I picked up the Staedtler Loco Color Permanent markers. Never used these before, but they had them, and I thought, you know, let me give them a try. Actually, I'll see how they work, because yeah, I've never used these. Yeah, so they're like a solid marker. This looks like this looks serious. This looks like a serious marker. I need some paper. Some paper. Random piece of paper here. Okay, so see how these write. So here's the tip. I don't know. Let's give these a try. Okay. And they don't really bleed through, so that's what it looks like. Hello, I wrote hello. And it doesn't really bleed through the back, which is good, because yeah, it's a permanent marker, but some of them, and it says dry safe. Yeah, I do like these. Yeah, so I forget how much these were. So yeah, grab those. And then I grabbed some paper bags. I have the mini paper bags, the regular medium-sized paper bags, and then the large paper bags. And you can never have enough paper bags. There's so many uses for them. I like to put them out in the art center. Well, if we're doing activity time, I like to have art. And I just put them out and the kids do what they want. They can make puppets, they can make bags, but I don't know, they're very creative. they find something to do with them. So, and then these big ones I like to save for Valentine's Day. You can do like a lot of really cutesy boxes and things for Valentine's Day for their cards, but honestly, paper bags work the best. They decorate it with hearts and doilies or stickers, whatever you want to do. And then they have it standing up on their desk. So when kids are are handing out the Valentines, it just goes in the bag like that. Like, it's the best. And it holds everything. It doesn't fall apart. It's great. So I'm now low. I've had them for like a long time, but I ended up getting more. So that's that. And I picked up a package of folders. You need to have some folders. So I use these for writing folders. So I just have here working on with a little pencil, and then a label here that says finished for now with a little stop sign. I read somewhere to say, or I saw a video that says that you should say finished for now because of course they can go back and edit it, right? So yeah, that's what I use these for, writing folders. And I'm also gonna use them for reading folders as well. I've never done this, but I'm gonna have it where like guided reading responses will go on one side, and then read aloud responses to my read alouds I'll have on this side. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. And I like to use different colors, so writing will be red and then the reading ones will be blue. You know, keep it organized. And lastly, I picked up some Duotangs. Now Duotangs, I use these for their poetry books. Duotangs are a pain though. Like sometimes you teach the kids how to put the papers in, but there's always a few of them that do it wrong. I don't know. But anyways, I just use these for poems. So we have a poem of the week, and I put a poem, the new poem inside the poem Duotangs, and then they take it home every Friday, and then they bring it back on Monday. And every week I just put a new poem in the Duotang, and it was a nice little cute cover that says my poetry folder, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that. But yeah, Duotangs. So that is it for this haul. I hope you found it entertaining. Like I said, I have some stuff I still need to get. My bad. But yeah, so I'll do that and then I will haul that for you. If you like this video, you know what to do. Thumb up, subscribe, join the family. I would love to have you, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.